Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be doing a re-review of The Legend of Zelda SP for the Nintendo Switch Online service, because when I originally reviewed it, Nintendo still had their Nintendo's Creator program, so I couldn't exactly do footage without getting a copyright claim. Now that that is more than abolished, I am more than happy to provide a re-review of the game that started it all. Well, an enhanced emulation, that is. Basically, The Legend of Zelda SP is the original Zelda, but with most of the secrets already uncovered, in addition to most of the late-game equipment being given to you at the start. So Link starts out with the white mail, which increases his defense. He already has maximum rupees, which is an oddly specific 255, 8 bombs, 9 keys, the white sword, the candle. I don't want to say everything, but let's just say that he doesn't have absolutely everything in the game. There are still some things you can discover, and you can also refill your health meter and still have a bit of a challenge. It just makes the game easier for newbies to ease into it. The first couple of dungeons are an absolute breeze, but once you get closer to the end of the game, you're going to start seeing some hardcore challenges. Now, people that are used to NES games are probably going to say, "Oh, Paul, you're such a wimp." And maybe I am. The first Zelda game I ever beat was Ocarina of Time, so if that tells you a little bit about me, then so be it. Basically, because this is an enhanced emulation, like I was saying with my Kid Icarus SP review that I actually just filmed a couple of minutes ago, this is not a remake of The Legend of Zelda. It's still going to have all of the glitches and problems that the original game has. I'm the type of guy that when I review a game that was released in modern day but is still an emulation, I expect that if there's a problematic area, if they were able to program all of these enhancements into the game, why couldn't they have also, say, programmed out some of the bad parts? And in the case of the original Zelda, there's certainly something lacking about the dungeons being so bland and generic and square-shaped. However, to The Legend of Zelda's defense, it had a mind-blowing mechanic back in the day, and kinda still is, and that's you had a free open world where you could literally go wherever you wanted right from the beginning of the game. Except for a few islands, you needed the raft for that. But apart from that, it was just no longer do you have to get from point A to point B like you did in Super Mario Brothers. If you want to run all the way to the final dungeon, you can do that. You might not be able to get into it, and it might be hard once you do get into it a bit too early, but the fact is, you can. And that level of freedom is basically what defined the Zelda series until, for some odd reason, the series started getting more formulaic and linear. This is an interesting historical oddity, but it definitely has its share of growing pains because it was the first one. The dialogue is painfully slow, the English translation is kind of sloppy, and the controls are actually quite awful. You can't run in diagonal movements, you have to run on sort of a grid-based movement system, which makes fighting enemies kind of a pain. Nevertheless, for the sensation of freedom, there's really nothing else like it on the NES, and in fact, there's hardly anything like this in this style at all. Now, is this worth getting a Nintendo Switch Online service for, just for this game? Well, like I said, you're gonna have this anyway if you do have the online service, but I would say that this is definitely the definitive way to try the original Zelda, because it gives you much better of a learning curve. And it also has 4 save states, so that also really helps the game. With that, thank you very much for listening. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and stay special. Bye!